What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Ron, back with another one. Now remember, I don't make the videos, I just enhance the videos. Now as you can see, I'm a little busy with the young lady right here beside me. But she probably gonna be a part of this video today, but we ain't gonna hold y'all up. Let's get into it.
So if you're about to start missing payments or having late payments because you feel like the insurmountable debt that you owe to the credit card company can't possibly be paid, watch this video. So it dawned on me a few days ago that I've pretty much taught you guys everything I possibly can about how to pay your credit card bills the right way. But those videos from me and people like me in this space typically revolve around people who don't have much debt on those credit cards. So what about those of you who are maxed out on your credit cards and have no extra money each month to start paying those down? You're pretty much on a revolving hamster wheel of making the minimum monthly payments, watching that balance skyrocket each month. Well, don't worry. As usual, I got you. Come on.
Now, as we can see, this video is going to be about how to pay off maxed out credit cards with zero cash flow. So we're going to be basically explaining to y'all how to pay y'all credit cards off, no matter if you got money or not, just to get y'all on track.
Come on. So I want to introduce a concept to you guys that's not new. Matter of fact, it's fairly old, but most of us aren't talking about this because it's not popular. Now, I'm sure most of you have heard about a concept called velocity banking. The method that I'm going to show you guys today is pretty much a representation of that concept. Now, in order to pull this off, it's going to take an immense amount of discipline and possibly some lifestyle changes. But if you can tighten everything up,
changing your life for the better, you're going to have lifestyle changes. You're going to have to put the platters to the side. You're going to have to put the gambling to the side. You're going to have to put going out to the bars to the side just for a minimum amount of time, just until you get on track. And it's only for the people that's off track. If you're on track and you're doing what you got to do and your finances is right and you like a little gamble, you like a little liquor, you like a little club here and there, then go have fun. But for the people that's off track, that ain't got the money or the finances to support their lifestyle, stop. That's all I'm going to say, just stop.
But if you can tighten everything up for a couple of years, you can pretty much get rid of any debt that you have with credit cards. Let's go. Now, what we're going to do is use a representation of a person who makes $4,000 a month, but has expenses of exactly $4,000 a month, which leaves them with $0 cash flow when everything is paid off. Now, to make it realistic, we're going to include a rent/mortgage, depending on which one you have. So I can tell you exactly how to split everything up in order to get this right. Now, the credit card in question is going to have a $10,000 balance, which will come with a $400 monthly payment, because typically it's going to be about 4% of the balance that you owe on a minimum monthly payment on any credit card. Now, I'm going to make this a really shitty credit card with a 30% interest rate just to kind of really drive the point home that it can be done pretty much on any card. Now, I'm not going to add the interest rate into the monthly payment as we move through this model because I want to keep the numbers simple and round. But at the end of this video, I'll let you know exactly what I think about that 30% interest rate and how to deal with that moving forward. So the person we're going to be discussing is going to have $4,000 left after everything's been taken out of their check. The money's been deposited in their bank account and they can spend it. Now, the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to take out all money that cannot be spent on a credit card, i.e. rent, mortgage, sometimes even a car note. So if you can't spend it on a credit card, we're going to separate that money and put it in a different account. Now, our rent payment in this model is going to be $2,000 a month, which leaves us with $2,000 to maneuver with throughout the month, paying bills, getting gas, food, etc. Now, once we factor in all those expenses after the rent has been taken care of, like I said, we're going to have $2,000 left, which will leave us with $0 of cash flow after everything has been paid throughout the month. And just so we can keep an eye on where we came from, we're going to put the credit card information down here at the bottom. So let's get started with month number 1, where we have a flat $10,000 balance on a maxed out $10,000 credit line. The very first thing you're going to do is take every single dime you have left in the bank account after the rent or the mortgage has been paid and put it into that credit card. And yes, I said every single dime, because at the beginning of this video, I told you flat out, anything that can't be paid by a credit card, separate it and put it in a different account. So whatever's left over belongs to that credit card. This will take our balance down to $8,000. Now, what I want you to pay attention to is when we pay that $2,000 into this credit card. Go back to some of my videos that I made about paying everything down by the statement date, because what you want to do is make sure that when you pay this down, this number reports to the credit bureaus. You don't want to wait until you run it back up by paying all your bills throughout the month. So pay this $2,000 to this credit card as close to the statement date as possible and try not to spend any money on it for a few days. This will do a couple of things. Not only will it help you start paying down this credit card faster, over time helping your score skyrocket quickly. Now, throughout the month, we're going to realize about $1,600 in expenses and bills. This can't be avoided. These are things that can't change. So we know for a fact that we're going to be charging this amount of money to this card throughout the month. Now, I know you're probably a little confused. You're probably thinking, Jay, in the beginning, you told us we had $2,000 of expenses. Well, that's true. But what you're not taking into account is that once you move this money over to this credit card over here, this is actually going to satisfy this $400 monthly payment. thus eliminating this as a bill altogether. This will create $400 cash flow where there was zero before. So each month that you continue to do this, you'll realize a $400 drop in the overall balance if you can stay disciplined, which will bring us down to $9,600 at the end of the month. Now, once again, I told you that we're not going to talk about interest rate, but let's go ahead and put that into perspective here for a second. The interest rate on a $10,000 credit card at 30% is about $241 a month. Now, the reason why I'm not going to make a big deal out of that $241 a month that they're going to tack onto this $10,000 balance is because you can pretty much earn $240 a month doing anything. Instacart, Uber Eats, Uber, Lyft, anything. Posting yourself on Craigslist.
Any credit card, before you get any card note, before you get any house loans, pay attention to the APRs on that. If you don't know what the APRs is, that's the interest rate. The A stands for annual, the P stands for percentage, and the R stands for rates. Annual percentage rating. Check it out before you do anything, because most of y'all with bad credit, interest rates is going to be through the roof. No matter what you do. If you got bad credit, no matter what card it is, your interest rate going to be through the roof. So pay attention to that.
Anything. Posting yourself on Craigslist to do a couple of odd jobs for people, you can make that $240 up. So if that's going to be your main excuse for not being able to get this done, it wasn't going to work for you anyway. Now, an important part I forgot to mention right there about how the interest rate is calculated is that every month you pay this balance down more and more, that interest rate shrinks more and more. Just in case you didn't know how the interest rate was calculated, they take the statement ending balance and times that by the interest rate, in this case 30%. They then take that large number and divide it by 365 days. Interest rate is calculated on the average daily balance. So every month that balance is shrunk, they have less and less to calculate that 30% by. So let's move on to month 2. So as you can see in month 2, our starting balance is only $9,600. We're going to do the same exact thing as we did the previous month, right? We're going to move our rent or mortgage payment over to a different account, as well as anything else that can't be paid by our credit card. And then we're going to move all of the rest of the money from our bank account back over to this credit card. We're going to do this right before the statement date so that the $7,600 balance that we see here gets reported to the credit bureaus. Once again, dropping our utilization rate down further. Now, because we've satisfied this $400 monthly payment for this credit card, we only have $1,600 in expenses once again. After we've gone through our month of $1,600 expenses, whether it's bills, food, gas, whatever it may be, our ending balance for the month is going to be $9,200. Now, we're already down $800 after 2 months on this credit card. We haven't earned any additional money yet, and we're still making a dent in this big balance. If you do this month after month after month after month, you guys will continue to see this balance drop. And
just like saving, just like going to work, just like paying your bills, just like being in a stable relationship, all that stuff I just named come with discipline. It come with discipline. You got to discipline yourself. The hardest thing nowadays is discipline, because everybody want to be so free. Everybody want to be so open to the next opportunity that don't get you nowhere. But you have to stay disciplined. You got to have some type of discipline. And if you can't be disciplined right now, just continue to work on yourself until you meet that standards or that place that you want to be disciplined. Work, discipline. Work, discipline. Work on yourself. Be disciplined to yourself. But stay disciplined.
Let's drop. At month number 6, we're already down to $7,600. Now, at this point in our journey, we're starting to realize that we have a little bit of a cash cushion within this credit card balance. Like I told you before, this was a $10,000 limit and it was maxed out at $10,000. But once you get down to the point where you have about a $3,000 cushion, this is where life starts to go haywire. Tell me I'm lying. Anything will happen within your life. A flat tire, transmission goes out, your mama needs a couple of bucks, your kid has a class trip or a prom, or anything that will take a chunk of money out of your pockets. Now, a lot of people get scared because they keep saying, Jay, I'm putting all of my money from my bank account into this credit card. I have no cash left over. Well, that's not true, because essentially by having the discipline to pay this down this way, you're creating a savings account within this credit card balance that you can use at any time. Your daughter needs a prom dress, put it on the credit card. You need those new tires, put it on the credit card. Your mama needs money for groceries, take her shopping on the credit card. Transmission, credit card, emergency family bereavement trip, put it on the credit card. There's not a lot that you can't do in this day and age that can't go on a credit card. And that's the reason why we satisfy the rent or the mortgage payment up front, is so that we take care of those expenses that can't be solved on the credit card right away. We're going to go to a model where we can see how things kind of break down month over month over month over month. And after month 19, now before we get into month 19, I want to go back to month 18. because this is an important marker in this journey. When you look at month 18, you've now officially dropped just below that 30% utilization rate for this particular credit card. Now, if this is the only credit card that you're dealing with like this, and the rest of your credit file is pretty clean, at this point in time, I would start hunting for a balance transfer credit card, because once you get a good balance transfer credit card with a 0% interest rate on a balance transfer, now you can move the rest of that $2,800 debt over to that card and continue paying it without the interest rate penalty. This makes the journey go by a lot faster and a lot easier. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that there's a lot of nuance when you're paying attention to your finances and you learn how to operate the proper way. Now, if you're like most and having absolutely no cash in the bank is an untenable situation, please feel free to take $300, $500, or even save $100 out of every check and keep that as cash on hand. This is not a 100% absolute. You have to do it this exact way in order for it to work. The math still maths over time. I'm just using an extreme example so you can see how it can go at its maximum efficiency. So like the...
Okay, YouTube, it's your boy Ryan, and that's going to be our video for the day. But just remember, I don't make the videos, I just enhance the videos. And I know I'm going to keep dropping these videos because I really want people to elevate. I'm that type of person. Whatever I could do to help somebody else out, I'm going to do it. And sometimes, 9 out of 10, most times it backfire. So I don't expect people to like me. I don't expect people to need me. I don't expect, but when I can help, I will help. But that's your boy Ryan. Once again, I'm out. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See y'all in the next one.